Chronicle 3. The Girl with No Name. Pays to be small. Like when father would break my things in his drunken rage. He would lose his money playing jappers at the tavern and would stumble on home to vent. He was never angry immediately. No. His rage was like a brewing pot of bitter lumps, slow rising heat, until the putrid muck splashed the lid off the lip. He'd never find me though. After the first few beatings, I learned to quiet my breaths to be as soft as a dust fly's. Along with that, I'd always hide in my mother's room. He would never dare go in there. Still, he'd talk about her sometimes. How she was more precious and pure than I could ever be. How she sported a beautiful head of white hair, while I sat here with this black mop covering my face. Oh, how he loved to talk about her. Pays to be small. Like when the bloodsoaks come to our door looking to collect on their loan, and instead left with my father's head. I had escaped through the window, sprinting across the plains to the nearest light I could see. I'm not sure when I fainted, but I awoke being carried by a strange man. He had wild, spiky black hair that made him look like a feral rainhound. He lugged around a huge golden cross in one hand and me in the other. It wasn't long before I was dropped down carelessly on a random tavern front. "You're too small," he said, as he walked away. The people knew him as Alow Webtoon, a scoundrel. To me, he was a hero. It pays to be small. Like when I slipped past the Couvlan guards at the induction ceremony. Several girls from the prayer clan, ready to be trained in the way of the bow. And me, a brat, whose father didn't even bother to name, seamlessly slotted between them. When it was my turn to meet the devoton, he asked me my name. I looked around frantically and spotted a painting hung on the southern wall. It was the hero of the prayer clan, an unrivaled archer and the first warrior to ever wield a bow. Her name was inscribed in gold below her face. "Miriam," I told the devoton. His brow wrinkled and he looked to the wall. He'd leave his table and stand in front of the portrait. "Welcome then, Miriam," he would reply, turning with a smile. It pays to be small. Like when I snuck into the devota's class and stole her scissors. I cut out a portion of my hair. My first white strand had bloomed after a month of devota's teachings. I accepted the Lord into my heart, and my past seemed like a fading nightmare. But I was afraid. I didn't want to be like her. I wasn't like her. I was scared. Scared of dying. I wanted my hair to be black and flowing in the wind, like the man that saved me. I wanted to live. It pays to be small. Like when I squeezed into the cleaner's closet, when my sisters tried to kill me. My head was only half white, but they hated that my aim was more sure than theirs. I didn't want them to hate me. I didn't want to hurt them at all, but I couldn't seem to miss. It's funny though, they called me skunkhead, zebra child, coal streaks. But hating was for people like my father. I always loved them. I will always love them. It always paid to be small. Like when I decided to flunk out of the academy to help my sisters be at ease. Down to the last day, they laughed at the 2 black strands that hung in front of my face. I'd laugh too, probably. They say an archer's hair is a reflection of her fate. I believe them. After all, while I have great faith in the Lord above me, I don't think I'll ever be of much use in this world alone. Until I do. I have a new family. The Kuvlun boy who can't seem to make friends. And of course the Forsaken Elder. As small as I am, and as small as this team is, we serve someone much, much bigger than ourselves.